Hey guys, we got Erik Hanchett here. We're going to talk about his new book. Check it out. All right. Hey, Erik, let us know about what's going on with you. You have this book, Vue. How did that come about, and what are you doing now?
I'm a full stack developer right now. I've been doing tons of Vue.js and actually a lot of AngularJS in my day job. And I've always been interested in blogging and writing and things like that. And so I got this opportunity to write for Manning, which is a book publisher. They're the ones that have like medieval covers. They're not the ones with the animals on them. But they have a ton of different technical books, and I got approached to do a book with them recently. And I'm also a full-time developer, so this would be kind of a nights and weekends thing. And I decided to take it on about probably a year ago.
Okay.
It took about a year to write the whole book, and it just was released a couple months ago, couple months ago. So it was a pretty awesome experience, a ton of work. But we could talk more about that if you like.
Yeah, absolutely. So before you actually got into the book, Vue hasn't been out for too long. So how much experience did you have with Vue before you actually started writing it?
So funny thing is that I have, just like you, I have a YouTube channel where I kind of jump from topic to topic, and I do tutorials. A lot of my video and my YouTube channel, which is Erik.video, you can some of the videos are just all about teaching people about different JavaScript frameworks. Some of them are just giving people advice. I had done a series on Vue.js, and this was really the first time, well, probably not the first time, but one of the first times I was really playing around with the framework. So Vue 2 and Vue CLI 2, and I just started doing tutorial videos for YouTube, and some of them got picked up. Some of them kind of got a little bit popular. And Manning had seen these videos, and they had approached me because I started doing videos on it. And I had previous experience with a different book that I wrote before this.
Do you think you learned more before the book or during the book when talking about Vue?
Yeah, so really I learned a ton just writing the book, deep diving into it. I did tons of research for it because I had written some Vue apps, but I hadn't written like things in production.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked really hard just to work with some of the core contributors to see like what I actually started contributing to some open source projects and just trying to deep dive into Vue.js to see how it works. And I really I kind of like that approach on doing things. Every time I learn something, I usually do a YouTube video on it, or I write a blog post, because I think there's this idea, the curse of knowledge it's called, where once you become an expert in a topic, it becomes harder to kind of go back to the time when you were a beginner and
Yes.
running into those issues
Mm-hmm.
that you normally have. And so me being not a super expert in Vue.js, when I started off writing this book, I think kind of gave me a different perspective when writing it, and being able to go back and say, oh, well, I ran into this problem, so I kind of added some of that into the book while I was writing it, and it really leveled up my skills.
What can someone expect from this book?
So that's actually one of the qualifications in the book, that we have this MQR, they call it. It's the minimally qualified reader. And Manning has this whole set of processes in place that when you write a book, you want to write to your MQR. So the MQR for the Vue.js In Action book, that's the full title of the book, was someone that had some JavaScript, or it had some HTML and CSS experience and some JavaScript experience, but not necessarily an expert in any of those. So I didn't go into any detail of how to do basic HTML and CSS. You really didn't need to know a ton of it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you didn't have any knowledge, then I think this book would be kind of difficult for you to pick up. But if you had some, it helps, and having some JavaScript helps too, because we jump right into ES6 in the book. I don't really go over all the different syntax all that much. So you really don't need it. Like I said, you really don't need to know a ton of HTML, CSS, or ES6 to get into the book, but having some knowledge is definitely helpful.
Cool.
This is definitely not one you want to pick up if you have no web development experience at all.
Right. Where's the best place to go ahead and grab this if they're interested?
What you can do, you can either Google Vue.js In Action by Manning, or you can go to my Twitter profile. You go to twitter.com/ErikCH, that's ERIKCH, and it's just right in my link there. I have it on my
Cool.
profile there, and you can click on it and you could check it out. But really, I'm not really if you're not interested in buying the book, that's super cool. I have tons of information on Vue.js on my YouTube channel. So if you're interested in just getting some free information, you can go to erik.video and erik.video or eric.video, and that'll just link right to my YouTube page, and you can just kind of check out a bunch of the Vue.js videos that I've done in the past too. And I actually sell a course on it as well. So
cool. So and that's a Udemy course, right?
No, I decided to just do it on Teachable.
Okay,
So
on Teachable.
It's just my own course that I sell. It's 2 courses really in one. So one thing I did touch on the book is something called Nuxt.js. So you guys in the React world probably know about Next.js. That's pretty popular. Nuxt.js is the universal Vue.js application creator on the Vue.js side, which means that basically it has server-side rendering. It renders your pages pretty quickly on the server, even though it's a single-page app. So I did a course on that, and then I included like the basics of how to get started with Vue as well. And that's at school.programwitheric.com.
Erik, thanks for coming on. If you want to go ahead and subscribe to Erik, you can go ahead and click on the subscription over here. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, click over here. And go ahead and see if you want to look at something else. I'm sure there's a video floating somewhere around here. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks, Erik.
You're welcome.
Done.